Welcome to Stories with Dice. This is the Sword Campaign, a Pendragon actual play podcast using the 6th edition starter set from Chaosium. If you're enjoying our actual plays, please subscribe to Stories with Dice so you'll never miss an episode. Don't forget to rate and review us. It really helps others discover the podcast. Follow us on social media to stay updated, share your thoughts, and join the conversation. You'll find the relevant links in the description of each episode. Last time on the Sword Campaign, Sir Caradoc publicly accused Sir Blaines of treachery, only for Sir Blaines to demand justice through trial by combat. The duel ended in defeat for Sir Caradoc, leaving Count Robert to decide his punishment for falsely accusing a fellow knight. Meanwhile, King Leon de Grance invited Count Robert, Sir Ian, and Sir Hystalwyn to join the tournament. However, the contest was abruptly halted by cries that the sword in the stone had been drawn. Rushing to the scene, they discovered a young squire had pulled the sword free. As our Salisbury knights knelt with their lord before the boy king, Sir Hystalwyn and Sir Ian noticed the mysterious robed figure from their vision at Stonehenge. With reverence, Sir Hystalwyn declared, "I think we've found our sapling." The scene opens on Count Robert, Sir Ian, Sir Hystalwyn, and Sir Caradoc, all kneeling before the young squire who had drawn the sword from the stone. On the edge of the gathered crowd, a robed figure watches in silence. "No beardless boy shall ever be my king," bellows King Lot. "Nor mine," someone else shouts. Lot's gaze fixes on Leo de Grance. "What say you?" King Leo de Grance and his knights step forward, positioning themselves between Lot and the rightful heir. "The boy drew the sword," Leo de Grance declares. "By right he is our king." King Lot mounts his horse, sneering, "I'll be back with force of arms." His guards are only a step behind, spurring their mounts and scattering the crowd as they go. Others follow, and the Centurion King's voice rises above the commotion. "I'll not kneel to a whelp who scarcely left his mother's apron strings." A murmur of disapproval ripples through the crowd as the northern kings and their knights ride away. "Hail, King Arthur," cries Sir Ector, raising his sword on high. "Hail, King Arthur," the crowd answers, their voices rising in unison. "Hail, King Arthur." So, what would you like to do?
Guess I'll stay for as long as our Lord does.
Okay.
As long as Count Robert stays, I will stay. If he continues to stay kneeling, I'll keep an eye out from the corner of my eye and I'll stay kneeling. If he decides to just mill around to want to speak to the boy, then we'll do the same thing. For me, I'm going to just do that.
So Arthur is asking everyone to go to the feasting tables and to enjoy a meal and to discuss the future. So Count Robert is walking off with him and Sir Ector and other knights to the feasting table. And a lot of the commoners are moving that way, and a lot of the other knights and King Lear de Grance and all of those folks are moving that way.
Sorry, so is Arthur going that way as well?
Yes.
Okay. I will probably glance at Sir Hystalwyn in that case,
Mm-hmm.
and then glance towards the cloaked figure that's...
Yeah, that's where my vision is as well.
Yeah.
Okay. He's just sort of standing there watching everything.
So, Ian, I was thinking of going and seeing what our friend from the Vision might have to say about all this. You can accompany me or stay with Count Robert.
I am conflicted, Sir Hystalwyn. I would like to go and find out more about this strange man, but also I feel like I should accompany the Lord and the new king, or if that's what we'll be calling him. I don't know. I look at Sir Caradoc, who's obviously on the palanquin or whatever he's in. Sir Caradoc, what are you doing?
We'll be happy to go back to the feast and drink. I think in my condition, some drinking and good eating would make me good without leaving our Lord alone, of course. But, I'm useless in this now. I look like a shame.
You can see that Sir Ian's very much unsure what to do, and he's just now one person's going one way, the other person's going the other way. He's kind of like stuck in between. So I guess he'll just kind of wait in between the two lots to kind of wait for Hystalwyn to go and speak to the person, and then we'll go back later.
What's Count Robert doing?
Count Robert is following Arthur and all the other knights to the feasting tables.
Okay, so I will go with Count Robert.
Okay. So the squires assist you in going with Count Robert and Arthur back to the feasting tables. Okay, so Sir Hystalwyn, you're approaching the cloaked man.
If Sir Ian's still standing there hesitating, Sir Ian, even your saints have visions. Maybe it's not that strange for you.
Sure, I'll let you do the talking, though. He's your people.
Yep. So, yeah, I'll head up to the stranger.
Good evening to you, sir. Good day to you, sir. Sorry, I don't even know what time of day it is.
Pardon me, sir, but me and my friend here believe we saw you in a vision.
A vision, you say? Sounds mighty important. And what was in this vision?
It was prose circling. It was all ominous. There was a great oak and a young sapling below it, and I believe your voice told us we had to decide on whether to nurture the new sapling or maintain the corrupt great oak, and we had a decision to make about it.
And have you decided?
Believe we have.
I believe you have as well. Well then, that's wonderful. Shall we go to the feast?
But I was wondering, who are you?
I've gone by many names. I've walked this earth for many years. More years than I can count. More years than you've been breathing. Merlin, they call me. At least that's what they call me now.
There's a faint recognition from tales gone by in Hystalwyn's eye. Well, to the feast. Walk along with us.
I would be happy to. So you're walking along with him to the feast, and there's still a couple of stragglers. They're breaking down their tents, gathering all their belongings. Most of the knights and kings up in the north are the ones who refuse to kneel to King Arthur. And one of them sees you walking with Merlin, and he shouts, "Merlin, what trickery is this? We have not forgotten you." Then he spits on the ground. "You have not seen the last of us." And then he rides off with his men. And Merlin just sort of chuckles and goes, "Oh, my, this Merlin fellow sounds awful important."
So I kind of chuckle to myself, great. We've got a slightly old, decrepit man. He's obviously slightly off his rocker. Great.
Yeah. There's a bit more reverence coming from Hystalwyn.
So you get to the tables, and Arthur is already, he's deep in conversation with the archbishop, and they're talking about where to have the coronation. And the archbishop's, he's advocating that they go to Carlion, the seat of the Archbishop of Britain, and that they should have it there. And Arthur seems amenable to that. People seem at ease, especially a lot of the common folk. You hear whisperings of people hoping that now that they have a king, they'll have a lasting peace, that the anarchy will be over, and that the lands can be united once again. And then King Arthur, he turns to Sir Caradoc, and he sees you sort of in your sorry state. "We must have someone take care of this man's injuries. Surely one of you great men here have men talented in such skill." And King Lear de Grance says that his men will take care of you. And so they take you to the chapel in town in the little hamlet, and they tend to your wounds and then, suggest that they give you a lot of wine, suggest that you sleep and rest and take it easy for at least a few weeks.
I will heed their advice.
And Sir Blaine's is nowhere to be seen this day. The Duke of Silchester is still here, and you do see him and Count Robert having a bit of a discussion about Sir Caradoc and Sir Blaine, and it's a little bit heated. The Count sort of, much to your surprise, it's like he's found his spine, and he's sort of holding his own against the Duke. Tells him he hasn't made a decision yet on what Sir Caradoc's fate will be for the accusation that he made. But what is certain is that many of his household knights were murdered on the road to St. Albans. And then again, an attempt was made, and you three saved his life. So he will take that into consideration when he makes his decision as to Sir Caradoc's fate. And there is still the matter of this conspiracy against him that must be looked into. And so the Duke sort of huffs a little bit and walks away. And then the rest of the day goes by. And then in the morning, a herald delivers the news to you that Arthur has made his decision and that he will lead a grand procession to Carlion. And there he will be crowned king. And you and Count Robert are to join in the long line of dukes and barons and lesser kings and all the other nobility to ride with him. And they're leaving that day. So, and they have a wagon for those who are injured. So Sir Caradoc will be in the wagon. And as you're leaving St. Albans, crowds have gathered and they're cheering for the boy king, who they hope is going to bring peace to Britain. And this journey takes you about 2 weeks. You leave St. Albans, you pass through Londinium, and you cross the river to Windsor, and then you move on to Silchester. And there, Duke Ulfius hosts this great feast for everyone. And then the procession the next day continues, winding through the land, through several other little towns. You cross the Severn River and you travel several more days until you finally arrive to the city of Carlion. And there, all these other lords have arrived from various parts of Britain who had not attended the tournament, and they're there to pay homage to the king. The Supreme Collegium, which is a gathering of nobles, have declared Arthur the High King. But then the celebrations are cut short as 6 northern lords march on the city in battle formation. And Arthur orders the gates of the castle closed and to prepare for a siege. And as the northern forces sack the outer villages, he realizes over the next day and a half or 2 days that he can't hide behind walls. And he orders all of his knights to prepare. He calls you to battle. And it is time to defend Arthur's crown. Who has a decent battle skill?
Well, I'm not sure if it's decent, but it is a skill.
Just got 5.
My skill is 10.
There you go.
Sir Ian, you are going to be the convoy commander. So a convoy is like a unit of knights on the battlefield. The first thing we're going to do is generate your morale. Ed, I'm going to need you to keep track of it since you're the commander here.
I will grab a pen and paper to do that.
You're all guided by a mutual passion, and you can decide what that is. They all have to be in the same court. So the fervor, fidelitas, honor. Fidelitas is usually the one that you would use, probably homage or loyalty.
I think homage for Count Robert is probably the one for all of us.
Right, because you're also essentially flying his banner, right?
Yeah. So we don't want to kind of dishonor his name and our town and our kingdom.
Right. And he's on the battlefield with another convoy of Salisbury knights, but he's not among you. So what you'll do is you'll add up the values of all 3 of your homage, Count Robert.
Okay.
18 for me.
Well, 1 second.
14.
Okay. 14, 18, and 19 for me. Let's do some maths.
51 divided by 3 is 17. Okay, so that's the average. So that's your morale. So you're going to
average morale.
So the morale is going to come into play in the combat, in the battle, when you have encounters. So this is an encounter card, and on the bottom it says the minimum morale value that you need. So like this one, for example, is 13. And each time, so the encounters are representative of like a moment in time within this larger battle. And each time you have one, your morale will go down. At certain moments during the battle, the best thing for you maybe to retire to the rear to recoup, heal, regain your morale so that you can go back out and face your foes once again. So we have our morale.
I was going to say, it does say add 5 if you all use the same passion.
You're right. I forgot about that. So add 5 to that 17.
So 17's our base, but actually, that's 22.
Okay. So the default encounter for our first battle turn is going to be the Knights of Lothian.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm going to roll against the intensity value of this battle. Okay. The roll succeeds. So basically, if I had failed, you would be able to each make a battle roll. And if your battle roll succeeded, you'd be able to scan the battlefield. You'll be able to sort of see like, oh, there's guys coming up on our flank. There's this happening over here. And then make a tactical decision. So these are knights from King Lot's kingdom. They're quite well known to be fearsome fighters. So yeah, so you're in the field in front of the castle. The castle is under attack. They've already sacked some of the outlying villages. So you're going to lose 3 morale in this encounter. So the first battle turn is always a mounted lance charge. So everyone selects mounted charge as your action for the very first combat round of the encounter. And you can only choose reckless or valorous postures. So
do we have to do this as a group, or can we, as an individual, that we would pick our postures?
You can pick your postures individually.
I'm going to make a roll for reckless.
And then that also determines how many rounds you fight in the encounter.
Yeah, taking into account that I was injured and everything, I will try to be more on the back, not so forward, I guess.
Okay, well, I failed my reckless, so I'm not going to, I kind of take a check. I'm not going to be reckless and just rush off. I've got a group. We're going to stick to our fighting group, and we're going to fight valorous.
You're all fighting in a valorous posture then, so that means we have 2 combat rounds. If your valorous trait hasn't been checked yet, you can check it now. And now we begin. We begin the combat. And you're all doing a mounted charge as your first action. So Ian, make your mounted charge roll.
Do I get to do the same thing as with a regular combat? Can I check my homage to give me a bonus? Yep. Okay.
Yes.
I will do that then as my first thing. Okay. Yep. Pass that.
So you have +5. And that's the only time this entire battle you'll be able to do that.
That's fine. So I will do that. We're going out there. We're kind of like going for it. Let's see how well I do. Okay. I got a success.
He has a partial success. Yeah. Okay. So roll your damage.
So he gets a total of 23 as I charge into him.
And 23.
I ride full gallop.
And he's riding forward. His lance just totally misses you. And you hit him in the shoulder, but he kind of shrugs it off as he's riding his horse around for a second pass on you. So Caradoc
will charge. So horsemanship, I guess.
No, you're doing
charge.
Yep.
As 11 critical.
Ooh, very,
nice.
very nice. Okay. Let me roll his and see what he gets. He has a partial success. Okay. Roll your damage. And you're adding +4 dice to your damage, to your normal damage, because you have a critical.
So that's 6 + 4. That will be 10.
Mm-hmm.
10d6. And that's it. No, there's nothing else. Yeah. 10d6.
Yep.
Lance. Oh my God, this is going to hurt, I guess.
How much damage?
34.
Ow!
He was lucky with the ones.
It's automatic death if you don't have any armor.
So you've knocked him off his horse. He goes flying off his horse, and you've given him a very significant major wound. He's lying on the ground. His horse is just sort of rode off. One thing that you can do in battles is you can capture opponents, and then when the battle is over, you get ransoms for them.
All right. Let's give this a go. Oh, no.
Hey,
take a hit.
Yes, you do. I think I did the damage wrong, but I'm just going to run with it. So you take 9 damage, Sir Hystalwyn, and you can deduct your armor from that, but not your shield.
My armor.
Your armor is 10, so your armor just absorbed all of it.
All right. Yeah, so, yeah, a bit of a judder. And I'm struggling to stay in the saddle, but yeah.
Yeah, the two of you charge at each other. Your lance misses him, but his connects with you sort of square in the chest, but maybe your armor gets a little dented. Maybe you almost sort of lose your balance a little bit on your saddle, but you're still in it. You're still on the horse. Next combat round, Sir Ian.
I just want to double check. I'm just reading that did I get a partial success last time? Or was it a normal success for me and a partial success for him?
It was a normal success for you and partial for him.
Okay, cool. Just check because it says on a partial success, a spear, lance, or other hafted weapon breaks on a mounted charge.
So his weapon broke. Okay, understood.
So his lance smashed off my shield. Okay, well, I guess if I've kind of engaged in combat, I passed him by. Presumably I'm avoiding anyone who's on foot and stuff like that. I will turn around or I will engage with someone else, but I'll probably drop my lance, I guess, or would I keep it until we've all dropped our lances? His lance broke during your last engagement, and so he pulls out his sword as he's turning around for another pass at you. I'm vaguely honourable, so I probably do the same thing. I drop my lance and draw my sword and close in on him with my sword. Okay, cool. In that case, I shall have another go at him, but this time with my sword, which I think might work. So I will use my sword. Oh, yes, I succeed. With a 5.
That's a failure. Give me your damage.
So 14 damage. Whacking at him as we're now circling our horses and just going in toe to toe.
Your sword connects and you're just bashing against his armor, and he's trying to parry with his sword, but he failed miserably.
Probably putting all my strength and my imposing size into just battering him down.
Sir Caradoc.
I will go around with my horse and turn around and then face this guy. 11, so 1 damage.
So Hystalwyn.
Right, I'll turn and raise my lance in a signal to the guy I've just battled with, and if he raises his lance to indicate,
he does.
We're going to go again. So, yeah, we'll just go again. No.
You're having a very bad battle night.
Yeah, that's 4 damage.
You've got one knight on the ground who had suffered a major wound. The other 3 are still up and fighting, but it says that you fight for 2 combat rounds. You do have the opportunity, I believe, to fight one more round, but you have to roll an energetic and valorous roll to succeed if you wanted to fight one more round against these guys.
I'm probably more likely happy to call it quits at this level.
You follow him, or we follow you if you quit?
Yeah.
How does it work?
Yeah, you follow the commander. He's in charge. Yep.
Yeah, so we engage them and then move on to whatever the next thing is. So presumably
right, because it's chaos, right? There's just men fighting everywhere. It's total chaos. Screaming, people dying, people getting hurt.
So Lothian go on to their own other people, we go on to our other people, and you just kind of keep moving along the battlefield.
These are meant to represent sort of snapshots of dramatic moments. So keep track for me, if you don't mind, the number of combat turns or battle turns. Yep. Well, so we're moving on to the second battle turn, and you see Sir Ian, Saxon warriors, but then also coming up on your left are Knights of Cornwall. I'm going to make the intensity roll, and I succeeded. So you will confront Saxon warriors.
See, how much do I hate the Saxons? No, that's fine. I hate the Saxons more than I hate the others. That's fine.
Yeah, I think the Cornish hate me, but I hate
the Cornish hate me too. So it's fine. We're caught between the two.
So these are a fierce band of seasoned, armored Saxon warriors, and there are 2 of them for each of you.
Oh, okay.
Now, did any of you want to have your squire pull that badly wounded Knight of Lothian as a prisoner off the battlefield? Caradoc. He was fighting Sir Caradoc.
No, I killed mine. The one that they put down. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why not?
Okay, so make a squire roll for me.
So yes, success.
So your squire has pulled him off the battlefield, and he is now a prisoner.
Money. I want to be rich. I want to be rich.
You hope he's famous, right?
Sir Ian, what is the morale of your convoy?
We are currently now at 19.
Okay, good. The minimum morale here is 8.
Still good to go.
Yep.
I like that. So as the battle progresses, it shifts and changes based on what's going on. And then I guess at some point we'll be like, no, we're not fighting anymore. We're out of here.
For our fighting this one, I do hate Saxons. I mean, not a lot.
Absolutely. I would make that passion roll right now,
Me
but
too.
you know, I've already made my passion roll.
Yeah, so those of you who have a hate Saxon passion can make that roll if you so choose. So these knights are on foot. I mean, these warriors are on foot. And they're making, if you make a mounted charge against them, they will defend themselves.
Do they have spears?
Using a shield wall.
Can I make a battle roll for that?
Yeah, you can.
And that'll determine what I think we should do. See if another route goes terribly wrong. Okay, I failed. Never mind.
Yeah, so in the rush of battle, you think they have axes?
Okay.
But you're not really sure everything's happening so very fast. So what's your posture, and then what's each of your combat actions going to be?
Okay, well, I'll take suggestions. What do you guys want to...
Well, they're more than us, right?
There are more than us, but we
should be valorous.
Valorous? Okay.
I think let's be conservative.
Okay.
And I definitely think we should make a charge to try to disperse them with the lances.
To charge? Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't have any lances or spears, I would say, yeah. I mean, that's what you said, no? That they have axes, so let's go for
They've
it.
got axes, so yeah, let's just go for it. Would I have got my lance, my lance back, or would I have left it on the battlefield?
Your squire would have handed you another, I suspect.
Make a squire roll.
Yeah, you do your squire one to see if you get it, yeah.
Let's see if he's actually useful for a change.
Yep. So he grabbed he either grabbed your lance or he provided you with a fresh one.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, in which case it's a wedge-shaped charge at this group ahead of us.
So you're gonna lose 4 morale for this one.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Down to 15, yeah.
Rah, charge! Lances at the ready. Mounted combat. Straight in. Let's break them up, shall we? I think we get a bonus because they're on foot and we're mounted.
Yep. And those of you, if you want, since Sir Ian has already made a passion roll, the two of you who have not can make passion rolls. If you have
do it now.
Hate
Saxons.
Yep.
And I it.
Okay. So you get a +5 to your combat roll. Sir Hystalwyn, do you have a hate Saxon?
I do, but I'm not going to engage it because I was a little bit shaken by my last engagement.
Sir Ian.
Guess we're going to go straight for the middle. You go for this wonderful person here.
And I go to the one next to you. While cutting through the center.
Shield wall!
Because we're just going to go through them and then carry on. That'll be the plan. Let's go for a charge.
For honor and lust.
Honor and lust. As you go back in, that's amazing. Anyone listening, that was the plan we wanted to call it, but you know.
Yeah.
Marco said, no, I like it. Let's succeed.
Very good.
They whip out all the spears and we just basically impale ourselves on the Saxons. So let's just hope they're not setting against the charge.
He gets a -5 because you're on horseback.
They get a negative as well as our positive.
They get a negative because we are mounted.
Yeah, they get a negative because you guys are on horseback. They are not, and they are not. Okay, so he has a partial success.
So I'm right into him.
And you're doing both of them.
damage.
Are you doing both of them? Because you're going to attack multiple opponents at the same time. Are you doing both of those guys?
What with the lance?
Well, you're
Something.
you're charging through the shield wall, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So one of them would get like horse damage. The other one would get the lance damage, right?
Okay. Yeah. Sure. That makes sense.
Okay. So let me roll for the other guy. Okay. So they both have a partial success. Both of these guys. So give me your lance damage on one of them.
Lance damage is 25 for the lance.
T5.
My horse does 3d6 damage, and she does 13 damage.
Okay. So this guy here has suffered a major wound. He's knocked down. You just knocked him flat onto his back. And yeah, he's doesn't look like he's getting up anytime soon. What was the damage for the other one?
13 from rolls.
13 from the horse. Okay. Now remind me, when they get the partial success, you deduct the armor plus the shield, or is it only the shield?
That's a good question. I will go to the thing. So character combat, our whole opponent was a partial success. Opponent suffers damage minus armor and shield.
Minus armor and shield. Okay. You've broken through the shield wall. He's pushed to the side, but he's still in fighting shape. So Caradoc.
So I'll charge with a +5. I will just go through. 13. So success at 20 for the lance. For the second one is 13.
So similar to Sir Ian, this guy's been sort of knocked back, but still in fighting shape. What was the damage on this one?
First one was 20.
20 damage.
Lance was 20.
Yep. Okay, so this guy has been knocked down. He's knocked prone. You've just knocked him flat on his back.
It's Hystalwyn. It's all down to you now, sir.
It's all down to you, Sir Hystalwyn.
Let's give it a go then. Success.
That is a failure. The other guy, that is also a failure. Give us your damage. It's a fumble too. Yes. So his
24.
So this guy here, as you charge through their shield wall, you shatter his shield, and he's dead. Your horse, your lance just runs him through,
and then the horse does 9 damage. So
9 damage on the other guy. Okay,
stops him out of the way.
Yep. So he gets pushed back. Okay. Top of the round. What's your next combat action going to be?
Okay. I guess that I've kind of pushed through. I'm now wheeling my horse around. Again, I think it's going to be my kind of MO will be to drop the lance and then to turn around and then slide to either pass by and attack with the sword from sword back, leaning down partially to slice through anyone that I'm going to go back through. So literally turn around and go back the other way again, straight through that.
Sir Caradoc and Sir Hystalwyn, you're doing the same?
I follow the lead.
Okay.
I'm going to be going for the other guy this time. The other guy's on the floor anyway, so as far as I'm concerned, he's out of this initial combat.
Exactly. Do you want your squires to grab them?
You know what? I'll let Felix make the decision about what he wants to do, because I'm going to be too busy rushing in to find the other guy. So,
yeah, I think if you do a call squire action, that's your action for the combat.
So I won't. I'll just all through again.
Okay. So give me your mounted charge.
Have a look. No.
Oh, a fumble.
Basically, yeah. Oh, okay. Ooh, what's they going to do? Oh, no. This could be bad.
No, he failed.
Okay. So I fumbled and he failed.
A fumbled versus a fumble and a failed. Does your lance break?
Neither suffer damage. Yeah, I wasn't using my lance. I was using my shield. My sword. So neither suffer damage. Both break weapons. I dropped my sword. It sounds like I probably hit their shield, and I don't have enough grip in my hand. My sword goes flying out of my hand, and I just ride on through.
Yeah, I like that visual. So Caradoc,
I will charge the other one. That not the one that's
still
right
standing.
Here.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I still use the hate for actions, or it was just on the first one?
It's just the
first roll.
Yeah, it's just the first roll.
That one.
Yep.
Just checking. It is more like a scene thingy, so I failed.
He fails as well. So yeah, so you charge after him with your lance, and he tries to swipe it. He's trying to swipe at your horse with his axe, and he misses. Sir Hystalwyn.
So I'm doing the same as last time then. Oh, no. Failed.
Now we know why the morale loss was so high, right? He failed as well. So again, he swipes at your horse with his axe and misses, and you miss with your lance against him. And so that is the end of the second battle turn.
Are we going back in to try and finish him?
Good question. Actually, that's a good question.
What was the question?
Do we want to go back and try and finish them, or do we leave it as is?
That's a good question.
I'll leave it to your call. You're the
Okay.
you've got the battlefield experience.
So Carlion hates the Saxons, so he will be willing to continue fighting
Me
them.
too. I'm going to make I'll make an energetic roll then, I suppose. We hate Saxons, so that's my energetic's not great.
Yeah, and I'm going to count so that not everyone has to roll this. I'm going to count that your energetic roll is kind of like you're rallying your comrades to the cause of having one more go at these guys.
Do you know what? We're going to have another go at them.
Excellent.
I'm with you, Sir Ian.
I want my sword back, I suppose. Yeah, so I guess I'll take the spear out and use that instead. Let's give that a go. More into the breach. God. I passed. I succeeded. No, I failed.
No, it's a fail. It's 18.
Sorry,
That's a fail.
I failed. Saying the wrong thing. Yeah.
So he swings wide with his axe and misses you as you charge at him.
Not used to fighting with a shield and a spear or horseback. It just doesn't quite work.
Okay, so we'll charge again, like shouting, "Go away, Saxons!"
Go away, Saxons.
That's the politest charge I've ever heard.
Yeah. And I fail.
So Hystalwyn.
Yep, success.
Okay. Oh, that is a success as well. But your success is higher, so he only has a partial success. So he gets to use his shield to absorb some of the damage, but you take no damage from him. So roll your damage.
At least one of us is good.
22.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So yeah, your lance strikes him in the shield. Like he deflects most of it from the shield, but like, afterward, after you pass by him on your horse, he's like shaking his arm and you can see some flecks of blood flying off into the air. So this battle turn, the second battle turn, comes to a close, and you see King Lot and his convoy charge against King Arthur's convoy, and Arthur's battalion takes a huge beating, and King Lot bashes Arthur's horse's head in, and the horse goes down, and Arthur falls off his horse, and you no longer see him in the mass of men that are just all over the battlefield.